Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Chris. Thank you very much for subscribing to my channel so far. It means an awful lot to me. Thank you very, very much also for liking my videos. I will continue to do my best to bring you some really good high quality content for you as a reward for liking my videos and subscribing. So please continue to subscribe to my channel. Spread the word around so videos like mine can help other people. So today, taking another brief break from the American Airlines reel-to-reel tape videos. I'll get you another how-to video. This is my 2002 Lincoln Towncar and doing a wiper motor replacement. This is the wiper motor, and the last time I did this repair was back in September, but back then I drove a school bus, so I barely had just enough time to pull everything all apart, swap out the wiper motor, try and get it all back all together, and just make it back to my job just barely on time. So I just did not have the time back in September to make a video, but now we're here middle of June. The wiper motor was apparently made in China like everything else is. The wiper motor I put in there in September already died. It just quit working. Earlier today I was wanting to take the car out for a drive, do some errands. I was wanting to wash the windshield. The car has not been run or driven for the last good couple of weeks or several weeks, so just, I don't know, wiper motor and windshield wipers not working at all. And I checked the fuse is good, it's getting power to the fuse. I pulled off, I'll show over here, I even pulled off this power plug. I'm not using the right word. You know, the power connector. Pull it off here, as well as I disconnected it here. This pulls off, you know, pulls apart. I checked with my little light meter, not a light meter, but you know, a little voltage light thing. I checked it here through different places here within this cord, this connector here, as well as here a little later, and the little light was coming on, so I was getting voltage. So it was getting power, just the motor just up and quit. So I grabbed my hammer, and hammer got laying there on the floor. I took my hammer, I started beating this on the end and on the side, and it finally started to start running again, but it was very, very, very loud. A real loud noise, and it only run on high. If you turn it on low or delay, it wasn't working at all. So I don't know, that's just what we get for always having stuff every time coming from China. Having to always keep on replacing this stuff, and this is not the easiest thing to get to, so it's a pain. So you're always hoping if you get to replace this motor in this assembly for the wiper motor assembly thing, you're not having to do it again. So it's, you know, it's a lot to it. There's quite a few bolts and nuts, and I have to pull off a wiper arm. So today I was wanting to show you that because the assembly is pretty much the very same way as the disassembly, you know, pulling it apart is the very same way as pulling it all back together. I thought I'd go ahead and grab my camera and I'll show you how to install the motor and get it all back all together again. And I'll probably get all that crud and crap all out of there too as well. So hopefully, well, I can only hope, it's China, you can't expect much. That this replacement wiper motor is going to last me for what, another 6 or 8 months, and I gotta do it all over again, but you never know, so we'll see. So the first thing we got to do is take our wiper motor. It's going to mount right here. It's going to mount in this hole, and I got the original bolts for it, so mount it all up in that hole right there. You can only go one way. You can't get it backwards or the wrong way. It just goes right in this hole, and just kind of line up the holes. Just take one of these and get it started. You can see I got the 3 bolts started in this motor, so I'll just crank them or snug them down. Don't have to be real tight, just snug without dropping your wrench. So now, next, you have to take this arm here. It's got a little, get that little thing right there, and that goes right on the motor stem. It's only going to fit one way. So once you got that little piece on that motor end, you just take your little bolt here, try to thread it best as you can into that hole. Now I'm probably doing it the hard way. I'm sure the easier way to just be to pop this hole off, and so you have a lot more room to work with. I've already have everything all lubed up. The last time I pulled all this apart, I took some grease, like wheel bearing grease, and I went through all the moving parts and got them all lubed up really well. You only just need just a little bit, you don't need a whole lot. So now I've got this little nut there, just about all the way on there. So I was wanting to show you was, I got my motor all bolted all in, it's snug, so I just got that nut there. I need to snug on. See if that's the right wrench. Nope, too big. This has to be snug, you don't have to be real tight. And I'll double check again, make sure I got these snugged on. And I had to pull that off, had to pop it off, because when I put it all back in the car, there is a stud right there. I have to put a nut on it, and it's next to impossible to put a nut on it and tighten it. You got everything else in all in the way. So that'll be the next thing to do. Will be to fit this whole thing back inside, and you can see you got a couple of nuts here on the very end. So it's just a matter of just kind of fitting it all back inside and getting it bolted up, as well as making sure have our power thing plugged in, because that would help. And as you saw, maybe kind of sort of saw, maybe not very well, is I just moved the whole assembly all back down in the cavity, and I made sure that one little piece goes on that stud right there. That's why I had to pull off this arm right here. It's the only way I'm going to get a nut to it and a wrench and snug it down. But other than that, it will just, this arm will pop right back on that other arm there, and you can see it's already got plenty of grease on it. So this other half has to kind of line up. This stud has to go through the hole. So I don't have it quite there. I can't do much of anything with just one hand. There we go. Can't see anything, but I got it to work it back in that hole on that stud. Of course, that kind of, there, you just have to push that back down. So it's a pain, but you have to kind of work with it and get it all back down inside there. So now I need to take my little nut here. I don't think it really matters which one. And try to somehow with one hand get on that. Put it on here. And just take a wrench and just snug it on. It don't have to be real tight. If I can remember which wrench it is. I know I should get like one of those ratcheting wrenches. Probably got one, but I forgot it in this size. I may not have a ratcheting wrench in that size. See, it's like you really can't tighten anything with that in the way, so it's a real pain. So it's like you get such a little bit of room. So I'm gonna see what else I can find. Now, I don't have a ratcheting wrench, but I did find a little ratchet box end. So maybe I'll see if that might have enough room on a ratchet to snug it down. But anyway, I forgot I was going to get all that crap and garbage all out of there. So there's a hole down there. I'm not sure if anyone has realized or known about a drain hole down there. It was all loaded all up with leaves and other kinds of crud and garbage. So got that all cleared out. So maybe now it'll drain down a lot better. I don't know if that had anything to do with anything with making the other wiper motor up and quit, but you never know. So now I got that, I'm gonna need to go ahead and see about with one hand once again, see if I can put this whole thing in there. Try and get it lined up. So I got that in the hole down there right now at the moment. So that's on there. So this part is probably not there yet. This half. Have to go through it again, trying to get this stud on there. You get no room to do anything with one hand. There we go. So now I've got that on there. So I've got that there. Got that one lined up. And these are all lined up where they're supposed to be. So now I can try again with trying to put a little nut down in there. I would wonder if this ratchet's going to be too big for that. Let's see. Well, I did fit on there. Probably couldn't see much of anything, or weren't going to see much of anything, but I did finally get that nut on there and it's snugged down. Was able to put the ratchet in there. It was a matter of you have to turn it the right way, that helps. So anyway, so we got that snugged in. So now it doesn't really matter. You can either, one thing you can do is take this arm here and get it popped back on that arm down there, and it's not too hard, it's not too bad, just a matter of just pushing it together. I may have to use some long pair of pliers to make that happen. I hope you got a good glimpse of that. So I had to take my really long pair of pliers and just snap these both together. It's just a matter of getting one to fit inside that boot, which is already greased up in there. So that's the other difficult part of this whole deal. So now what I can do is I can start to put in some of the other nuts and bolts in here. that one. It just has to be snug. And this one, and then we got one of these goes in there. I don't know if it really matters which one is what. I think it might make a difference. I think this goes in the end. Actually, this one goes here. Just have to get it started right. Sometimes they don't start very well. Now I'm just going to take my various wrenches or socket wrenches or whatever it might be, whatever fits with what, and trying to get these snugged in. Having a ratcheting box in would help out a lot. This has to be just good and snug so it's not going to go nowhere. Oh, you know, this one, which I probably might need to use a different wrench or something. Okay, so I just grabbed whatever wrenches that would fit. So I got that snugged in, I got this snugged down. Come on over here, I got this one snugged in, I got that one snugged down, alright. So before we put it all back together, I'm going to go ahead and turn on the windshield wipers and see if they work. Alright, well, it appears like it's working. It does make a little bit of a whiny noise. I guess that's normal. So, well, then the more important thing is it's working. Hopefully they'll give me a buy for, I don't know, hopefully at least another 6 or 8 more months. So we can proceed with putting it all back together, or at least the rest of it back together. So as far as putting the rest of it back together, that's going to entail taking this really large cover and fitting it back inside where it's supposed to be. I'm hopefully going to be able to see most of this. Okay, so at least I hope you're able to see most of that. So that wasn't too bad to just get this whole piece back together. It's 2 pieces, so there's another little piece way on the other end that kind of just snaps down in place. So there's a little plastic, little retaining clip that goes down into one of those holes, and then you just take these clips and you just go along the bottom here, put them back in. So that rubber stripping goes back on. So now the only thing left to do is to put the wiper. Last thing left to do is put the wiper arms on. And so that goes there, and they got a retaining nut. Just got 2 of these, one for each arm. And as you snug it down real well, with a socket wrench, it should compress it down in place so it's going to stay. But that's what makes it so difficult, having to pull it back off, because you have to really pry at it. So now I'll just take my socket wrench and just snug on these retaining nuts. They don't have to be tight, just snug, or at least good and snug. Alright, well, they appear to be working. They even ran the little washer part. Alright, well, so that concludes this video on how to replace the wiper motor for your windshield wipers. It's, you know, this being a Ford, it can be a pain. There's going to be quite a bit to it. I don't know if it's easier or more difficult with some other cars and vehicles, but as you can see, it took me quite a while, and so when I was in a real hurry, I just didn't have the time last time to make a video about it. But anyways, I hope this will help you out, or this will help someone that you know. So definitely share this video with someone that you think might appreciate it and find some value in it. Please give me a like, and please subscribe to my channel if you'd like to have more helpful content just like this. I'll do my best to do that for you. Alright, so like I say, that's the pretty much all I was going to show you. We've got everything all back together, everything's all snugged down, so we'll see how long this thing will last. Hopefully a little longer than 8 months. So, alright, well anyways, until next time, we're going to go back to more American Airlines, reel-to-reel tapes, those kinds of videos, and until something else comes up, another how-to or something else, I'll show you that. Meanwhile, I'll see you on the next one. Thanks.